give reasons if the function determine its domain and range. First thing we must know what type of relations are known as functions. So here's you see a diagram in here. Here is the relation is from set A to set B, right? So here the elements of set A is 1, 2, 3, 4 and the elements of set B is A, B, C, D, E. And here it's given as arrow diagram. You see the image of 1 is A, image of 2 is A, image of 3 is B and 4 is C. So what type of relations are functions? Basically are that the relations in which every single element of A has one and only one image in set B are known as, that relation is known as a function. Okay, clear? So this one we have is a function because every single element in A has one and only one image in set B. Now let's do these questions. Let us see. So 2 1, 5 1, 8 1, 11 1, 14 1, 17 1. You see every element in A. If I have to write this one, I'm just giving you a rough. You don't have to write this one in your exam copy. So here basically what we have, the set A elements are 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, and set B elements are, there is only one, so it's 1. So it is like this, every single element is have the same image, that is 1. But that's not the case. My main case is that every single element of A must have only one image in set B, and that condition is satisfied. So in question number 1 I will say that the function, the relation is 1 1 is 1, not 1 1, the relation is a function, the relation is a function as every element has an image. Understood? So it's a function. Now let us look at question number 1 2. So we have 2 1, 4 2, 6 3, 8 4, 10 5, 12 6, 14 7. Again you see every single element, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. They have only one images. Okay, so what we can say, this is also a function. So question number 2 is also a function. Am I clear? Now last thing, question number 3. In question number 3 what you see is this element 1, 1 3 and 1 5. The element 1 has two images, that is 3 and 5. So this one is not a function, it is just a relation. So question number 3, it is a relation. It is a relation since the element 1 has two images, that is 3 and 5. Okay, clear? Now the next question is, question number 2 is, find the domain and range of the following function. Now first thing, let's do question number 2 1. So we have to find the domain and range of this one. First thing I need to know, what is domain. I think I have discussed in the videos what is the domain. So here if I have to find the domain of this one, so listen very carefully. So first I need to know what is the domain of fx equal to mod x. What is the domain of fx equal to mod x? You see, there are two necessary conditions. One is when a function be undefined. Look, the definition of domain is what? It's the set of all possible values of x for which the function is defined. Set of all values of x for which the function is defined. Now I need to know, when can the function be undefined? So obviously when the function is undefined, I will not take those values of x, I will take only those values of x for which the function is defined. So let's see, when can the function be undefined? There are only two cases in which the function gets undefined, that is square root of a negative number and when you have anything divided by 0. But in minus mod x, in here we see nothing is happening. The square root is also not there, right? And anything, there is no denominator also. The denominator is 1. The denominator is basically 1. So it's not equal to 0. It's a constant, right? 1 can never be 0. So what we can say that f of minus mod x, the domain of this thing, it will be all possible values of x, because for any value of x, it does not become undefined. So it means what? So for all real values of x, the function is defined. So what we can say, domain is equal to, so what are the all possible real values? It is just all real numbers. All real numbers is the all possible real values. Clear? Now the range. Now one thing we must know is that for range, mod x, what is mod x? Mod x does what? It makes everything positive, just like x square. X square also makes everything positive, no matter what is negative. It makes every real number a positive, right? So one thing you must know, that the minimum value for mod x, since it can never be negative, the minimum value for mod x or for x square will always be 0. The minimum value for mod x or x square will always be 0. Why? Because it can never be negative. Since it cannot be negative, the minimum value will be 0. And when it will be 0? When x is 0. So mod of 0 is 0, and 0 square is also 0. Clear? So range is basically nothing but minimum value comma maximum value. This is the range, right? So here we see I am finding the range of modulus function. So here we see I am finding the range of this thing, f(x) is equal to mod x. So what we see is that the minimum value is 0. The minimum value is 0. Now what is the maximum value? If you put x as very big number, so mod x will be that thing only, right? If you put mod of 1000 like this is also what? It's a positive number. Mod does what? It changes any number to positive, right? Now if you have a positive number, it will do nothing, it will just keep it as positive. But if it sees a negative number, you will make it negative. So now tell me, so here it can be very increasing number, so it will be infinite in here. It will be infinite, there is no limit to that. Clear? So the range, of mod x, so the range of mod x function is 0 to infinity. But here the question is to find the range of minus of mod x. The question is to find the range of minus mod x. Now how to find the range of minus mod x? That's the question. So here what we see is the range of minus mod x will be, you see, mod x is always positive. Mod x is always positive. So minus mod x will be what? Always negative. Minus mod x will be what? Always negative, right? So now in here you see the minimum value will be what? The minimum value will be minus infinity. Yes or no? Because mod x is always positive. So minus mod x, the minimum value will be what? Minus infinity. Now you see you are finding the value of this thing. Now a minus sign is already there. So we get what? Minus of this value, right? So it can increase to the left hand side. So we have minus infinity and comma. What will be its maximum value? The maximum value will be 0. It will be 0 because minus of 0 is 0 only. So the maximum value is 0 and the minimum value will be minus infinity. So here the range will be what? Minus infinity to 0. Just the opposite of that mod x. It will be minus mod x. Mod x will always be positive, minus mod x will be always be negative. Yeah. So that's my question number 2-1. Now question number 2-2. Now this is also very important question. So here we have fx is equal to root over of 9 minus x square. Okay. So I told you what? That a function is defined when the thing which is inside the square root, it is always greater than equal to 0, or else it will become undefined, because inside the square root I cannot accept negative values. So we need to have a greater than or equal to 0 number inside the square root. So what I will do is I will write 9 minus x square greater than equal to 0. Obviously if I need positive number or I need 0, so obviously it has to be greater than equal to 0, then only we can have a positive number inside the square root. Now let us see this one. How can I solve this one? So 9 minus x square is greater than 0. So can I write this one as 9 x square? Let us take minus x square this thing. So I get positive x square. Now can you tell me values of x for which the square is less than 9? One thing, for it's equal to 9, it will be what? It will be 3 and minus 3. So 3 square is also 9. and minus 3 square is also 9. Yes or no? 3 square is also 9 and minus 3 square is also 9, right? Now it says what? X square must be less than 9. So obviously what? X has to be less than equal to 3. Then only x square can be less than equal to 9. Yes or no? Or another one, this is for x. Now for x greater than equal to minus 3. So basically what we are getting, if I have to, so these are the two things we are getting. So if I have to draw a number line, so I put 0 in here, I put 3 in here, I put minus 3 in here, right? So now x square must be less than 9. So x must be what? Less than 3. It means what? It has to lie in here. Then only x square can be less than 9. And x has to be greater than equal to minus 3. So it will be this one. So minus 2 whole square is what? 4. So I get x square less than equal to 4. Now this is also 2 is also there. Now if you increase, if you put minus 4 whole square is what? 16. Now 16 does not solve. So 16 is not less than equal to 9. So 16 does not follow this criteria. So what we can say, only values which lies between minus 3 2 and 3, those satisfy this condition, that is x square less than equal to 9. So my region, my range, it's not range, my domain will be what? My domain must be from minus 3 to 3, because beyond this thing, beyond 3 and beyond minus 3, we will get the function to be undefined. So what we will write the domain as? So domain is equal to what? It will be minus 3 to 3. Okay, because minus 3 to 3 gives you values for which x is always less than equal to 9. Now the next question is range. Now range, I told you what? Range is always minimum value comma maximum value. This is the range. There is nothing to it, just minimum comma maximum value. Now here what we see, what can be the minimum value of this thing? Root over of 9 minus x square. What can be the minimum value? Now listen very carefully. Just like mod x and x square, square root of x, these three things can never be negative. They can never give you negative values. And since they can never give you negative values, so the minimum value of those functions will always be 0. So here the range, the minimum value of the range will be 0. Always remember this thing, square root, square and modulus, they will never give you negative values. Okay, so since they don't give you negative values, so the minimum value will always be 0. Now my next question is, what is the maximum value? What is the maximum value of this thing? Now listen very carefully. The maximum value of this thing, look, 9 will never change because 9 is a constant. Only thing that will change is this x, right? So this x value will increase or decrease the value of the function. Now listen very carefully. You see one thing. This x, can you tell me, if x increases, the value of the function, will it increase or decrease? Where if x increases, the value of the function will increase or decrease? The value of the function will always decrease. Why? Because of this minus sign associated with x. So whenever x increases, the value of the function decreases because of this minus sign. So what is the minimum value of x square? I told you, the minimum value of x square give us the maximum value of the function. And what is the minimum value of x square? Minimum value of x square is 0. So let's put 0 in here, 9 minus 0, and this will be the maximum value of the function, that is root 9, and root 9 is equal to 3. So 3 is our maximum value. So that gives us our range. So the range will be from 0 to 3. I hope everyone is clear. Okay, so that is it. Yes. Now question number 3. A function f is defined by fx is equal to 2x minus 5. Write down the values of f0, f7 and f of minus 3. Now listen carefully. f0 will be what? Look at here. fx, in place of x I am writing 2x minus 5. fx is equal to 2x minus 5. So f0 will be what? Look at here. f0 will be equal to, in place of x I will write 0. Just in place of x in here, inside f, in place of x I replace it with 0. So in the right hand side I will write 0 in place of x. So it will become what? 2 into 0 minus 5, and that is what? Minus 5. That is our f of 0. So f of 7 will be the same thing. So it will be 2 into 7 minus 5, that it will be 9. And f of minus 3 will be the same thing, 2 into minus 3 minus 5. Okay, clear? So that's how we solve question number 3. Now question number 4. The function t which maps the temperature in degree Celsius into temperature in degree Fahrenheit is defined as this thing. So Tc is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. So Tc is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. So this is given. So this is given. The function is given. Now you have to find T0. Just like the previous one, Tc in place of c I am writing 0. So here also there will be 0. So it will be what? 9 into 0 divided by 5 plus 32. So T0 will be equal to what? 32. T28 will also be same thing, and T minus 10 will also be the same thing. In place of C, just put minus 10. That's it. Now question number 4. You see here in question number 4 what they said. Read it out clearly. What they said in question number 4. It says what? The value of C when Tc is equal to 212. So value of C, you have to find the value of C now. Previously the values of C were given. Now you have to find the value of C when Tc is 212. So what do you write? 212 is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. Now take the 32 this side. So it becomes what? 180 is equal to 9c by 5. Now 9, it becomes 20. Therefore C is equal to 100. That is it. Okay, clear?